Hello, everybody. Feel free to turn your videos on. I actually love that when people do. Yes. It's always nice when you're actually seeing people. But I'm super excited that you've joined us for today's webinar. We'll just wait for a couple minutes and then we'll get started. Hi, Sherry. Thanks for joining us. And hi, Melanie. Thank you for joining us. I'm sure we might have other people joining us. I love this content, super important. I know I say that all the time, but it really is. All right. So this webinar is building a strong website and social media presence. Super important. You need to show up like an A player, right? Just some housekeeping. If you have any questions during the presentation, type them into the chat box and we'll answer them at the end of the presentation during the Q&A. All right, so is your brand positioned online to attract your ideal client? So really think about that. Like, are you understanding that? Like, what is brand positioning? Is it going to attract my ideal client? That's what we're going to talk about today. Is your brand positioned online to sell your projects for more? Is your brand positioned online to set your company apart? Absolutely. Like, you need to position it correctly so they get the right impression, right? If you haven't met us before, I'm Debra Scarpa. In the photo there is Ashley Blazing. We have Taylor on the line helping out today. We help interior designers transform their brands to get found online, win their dream clients, and work smarter by streamlining their processes. Our team guides your business to success with custom branding, logos, websites, local SEO, social media. We're also doing online ads now that are getting fantastic results. So if you're needing leads, that could be a good fit. Email marketing, improved processes. This course is approved by NKBA. We're super excited to be working with them. When we send out an email with the recording, we'll also be sending out a certificate with all the information, and Taylor will also be putting that into chat for you. Today's agenda: your ideal client searching online, steps to building a strong online brand, biggest mistakes, attracting your ideal client, getting found online, getting paid more. We're going to go through all of those, give you some do's and don'ts. If you haven't already taken advantage of it, Taylor will put it into chat, but a link to sign up for our free brand website SEO audit. I give you guys so much value in that meeting. So you sign up and then you schedule a 30-minute meeting with me, and we really go through and do a deep dive into understanding who you're targeting and, like, is your website positioned correctly to attract that type of, client. Just like to start off, I want you to understand, like, marketing that gets results. One, having a website and brand that generates interest, builds trust, get your ideal client to take that next step, right? To have a conversation with you. Step two is to drive traffic. Okay, so you can't just build a website and then not drive traffic to it. At the same time, you don't want to drive traffic to a website that's not built to generate interest, build trust, and get your ideal client to take the next step, right? Otherwise, you're wasting a ton of investment, time, resources. You know, those investments will get wasted because somebody will just go and click the tab and close your website and not like contact you. So you want to make sure that that website is set up first and then drive traffic to it. Now, the third step is nurturing. So when you're driving traffic, like doing ads or social media, email marketing, whatever you're doing there, nurturing your list and sending those people like valuable information can definitely close more ideal clients. It can get you better results. Like if you're running ads, there's going to be some people that want to buy from you right away that book an appointment. There's also going to be some people that maybe they're just doing research and they have a project in 6 or 9 months that they're considering you for. So you want to get them on your list, send them valuable content, stay in front of them so they don't forget about you, and to get them to book an appointment at a later date. Your ideal client is searching online. Absolutely. They are searching online. So, and I just wanted to show you like a way that a lot of people search. Just think about how you search for a restaurant when you want to go out or anything. Everybody's searching online, right? They might be searching interior designer near me or in a specific location, or, you know, for whatever services you're selling, they are searching online. I want you to really understand how important Google reviews are, because they're going to search online. They're going to look at who has the best reviews. They're going to open the top, maybe 3 to 5 websites, look at those websites, and then decide, am I interested? Am I not interested? Close the tab. It's amazing. Like people might spend 3 seconds on a site before they decide if they're interested or not, right? Maybe 3, maybe 10. Think about if you're looking for a restaurant and you come to a website, you open it up, they have good reviews, you open it up, and then the photos of the food look bad, and the website looks messy. You're going to be like, oh, that's not the feeling I want. I'm going to close the tab and go look for somebody else, right? That's exactly how they're going to be looking at your services. So just to, so you understand, like a website before, like this is Linda's before, she also changed her business name. This is her after, right? So if you came to, I just want you to understand perceived value, right? It's the same work here as here. This company looks like they're in business doing it as a hobby, right? This one looks a lot more professional. Somebody's going to trust them more. They're going to assume she takes on bigger projects than this company. It's going to assume she charges more, right? They're going to trust her more than this company. And it doesn't matter what style of designer you are or whatever services you're selling, right? Here, it doesn't look as professional, right, as here. So, in totally different style, but it's how the business is being perceived. It's your gut feeling of how you're feeling about it, right? That this one is more professional than this one. So we want that to make sure that that is set up first before you start driving traffic. You absolutely need to be driving traffic, after the site is built, whether that's like building relationships or doing ads, or, you either need to be pounding the pavement or, doing some type of marketing activity. So just 6 steps to building a strong online brand. And we're going to go over each of them. So 1, brand positioning strategy. Like that is a must. Like it's just like you trying to do a project with a client without having a meeting with them. You have to really think about, who are you targeting? How are we going to position, the whole website and brand and everything to attract that ideal client? 2, copywriting. Copywriting is super important. If you just have photos and no copy, your ideal client is not going to understand why they should pay you what you're charging. Google is also not going to understand all the value you're offering and is not going to rank you well. So 3, logo and website design. 4, SEO. And SEO, we always, build SEO into the website, because if you don't, then you have to go back and rebuild the pages. So it's super important when you're getting a website built that you're implementing the keywords and SEO. But really, it is so competitive online. You also, if you want to be ranking for SEO, you need to be doing it consistently, like once a month. You need to be adding new content to your website, optimizing it for your keywords and for SEO. 5, website programming. 6, social media, and then ongoing marketing, right? 1, brand positioning strategy. So we're going to go over some mistakes and some tips. So the biggest mistake is just not even doing strategy, right? And I'll tell you, when I look at a website, I know that they haven't implemented any kind of strategy, because maybe the copy just starts out like about me, how long the person's been in business, it's just all about them, and it doesn't have content that's talking about the services they're offering, the value they're delivering, and why you should buy from them versus your competition, right? So I can really tell by just looking at it that that they don't have that. It's super important to have, that type of content. And also, like we showed you in the website before and afters, the difference between the look and feel, and how somebody is perceiving it is super important to discuss and nail down in that brand positioning strategy meeting. Attract your ideal client. So position your online brand and content to attract your ideal client, right? You need to, just like I showed you in the samples, you need to have the right feel for you. What I want your ideal client to come to your website and look at it and be like, wow, I am in love with this person. I want to work with them no matter what. I don't care how much it costs, right? That's the feeling that you want. You want them to feel that. Brand positioning strategy can help you get found online. So position your website copy and keywords to attract your ideal client. So a lot of people, let's say, for example, they're doing blog content to try to get SEO. So they're almost doing it like backwards. They're thinking of a topic and then they're writing the content, and then they're kind of guessing what keywords, their ideal client might be interested in, and then they're adding them to the blog. Think about flipping that around. Think about strategically thinking about, what keywords do I want to rank for? What keywords would my ideal client be using to search with? And then taking those keywords and thinking, okay, so if they're searching using these keywords, what type of content would they be searching for using these keywords? Like, what would be helpful to them? And okay, now I'm going to write a blog post around that, right? So you're picking the keyword first, and you're strategically picking it, knowing that your ideal clients are using it to search with, and then you're writing the content and you're programming it in, right? That's how you would strategically decide how to write the copy. And put in chat, if you're confused on that. Happy to clarify that more. But really think about the strategy and how you want to position it and what keywords you want to be ranking for first before you start the content. So brand positioning strategy can absolutely help you get paid more. So position your online brand to build trust and tell your unique story, right? If I just see a photo and there's no copywriting, there's no content to it, there's just a photo, I don't know what you did and what you didn't do. If you have a photo that tells more of a story and everything that you offer, right? Then I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, she did so much. She offers so much, right? Or even on your service page, if you have just bullet point lists like full home remodel, right? And there's no other copy with it, I don't really know what that is included in that, right? But if you have more information, more detailed information, then I'm going to be like, wow, she does a lot. So, I understand that I'm going to have to pay her more because she is managing a lot more. And that's why I'm paying her. Or whoever, right? Step 2, copywriting. So some big mistakes that people make is start with copy that focuses on their own company. So this is how I think about copy on your website or in any of your marketing, is how I would be having a sales conversation, right? So if I'm having a sales conversation and I start the conversation, hi, I'm Debra, I've won tons of awards and blah, 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 all about me, you'd be like, oh my gosh, Debra, I don't want to talk to you, right? If I start the conversation asking about their project and what problems they're trying to solve, and just doing more a deep dive into trying to understand what they're trying to do, and then, oh, I've done several projects like that before, or this is a way you can solve those problems, and oh, by the way, I have some client testimonials for projects, and here's some information about me. You're sharing the information about yourself after they're already ready to, they're ready to buy from you, right? They're interested in buying from you. Starting the conversation about your company first when they don't even know what you sell, like that doesn't make sense when you're having a conversation with somebody. That doesn't make sense when they're on your website either. So copywriting and how it can attract your ideal client. So create copy that communicates who you want to work with. So your ideal client understands you specialize in helping people like them, right? So even when I'm on like websites and they are not communicating what locations they service, right? They're not communicating that that person, that's looking at their website might be a good fit or they might not be a good fit. Right? And if you're not communicating it online, like if somebody's a good fit or not, and then you're getting leads that are not a good fit, well, of course they're not a good fit. They're super confused if you're a good fit, right? So if you're communicating who's a good fit, you're gonna get better leads. They're gonna have a better idea if they're a good fit or not. Here's a website before. Obviously, this one was a mess, right? And here is her after, right? So if you came to this website versus this one, right, you would trust this company so much more than you would trust the other company, right? So hold on, sorry about that. I skipped a slide. This one right here versus this one right here. So write copy that communicates to Google that your website is the best solution to deliver when your ideal client is searching online. And get paid more. Position yourself as an authority with copy that communicates the value you offer when prospects are, working with you. So I want you to really think about, the value that you're offering and communicating that early on. Think about, there's all these different areas that you can communicate, like why you are different, your services, like what you offer, what you not offer, what's unique about you that maybe sets you apart from your competition. Who is your ideal client? Like, is it very specific? Is it in a certain location? Do you do a certain style? Who are they, right? What size of projects are a good fit for you? What is the typical project investment, right? You can definitely communicate that not only in words, but with photos, right? Both. Design style. Social proof. Social proof is that you've done it before. If you show somebody you've done a project like that before, they're going to have more trust in you, right? You and your business, locations you service, right? There's so many different aspects of your business that you can communicate. If you're finding that, when you're working with a client, after like halfway through the project, they're like, oh my gosh, I never knew that you did that you handled all these things. Obviously you weren't communicating that early on. Or if you're losing projects because, people are thinking you're too expensive, right? Your pricing is too high. Well, you obviously haven't communicated everything that you're delivering, right? So I'm going to use us as an example of like, so we do websites, right? So there's a huge difference between somebody who does a website that's not doing strategy, not doing the copywriting, maybe just using a template and not doing a custom design, right? And maybe they're not implementing like SEO keywords. It's a huge difference in that type of website versus like somebody just using a template, no copywriting, no strategy, no nothing, right? It's the same with your projects. So think about like your projects, if somebody is just taking somebody shopping and decorating the room, that's a huge difference than somebody like tearing out walls and ordering custom furniture and artwork and doing a full kitchen, or there's huge differences. And are you doing the project management? Do you have a team that's helping with the construction? There's so many different variables. Not all companies are the same, so you need to set yourself apart. Logo and website design. So just some mistakes that some people make is having a brand and design that doesn't reflect the quality of your work. Like when I look at a website and their work is like really beautiful and their website looks like, it looks like the ones that I showed you before, where it looks like they're in business at like doing this as a hobby. It doesn't look professional. They don't match. When somebody is thinking of hiring a company, and especially a designer, like they're expecting you as a designer to walk and talk, like everything you touch should have that beautiful design feel to it. That is building trust. So here's a couple logos before and after, right? And you could see the one here on the right is going to build a lot more trust than the one here on the left. Same company. She changed her business name as we were rebranding her. Here's another one, before and after. The logo definitely matters. And I want to say that the logo, I know sometimes I'm talking to people and they're like, well, the logo is their favorite color, or the logo is, like something they designed and it's not really matching their work, or, they have some attachment to it, or the logo design, you want it to have that luxury feel, and you want it to have the colors that are going to not overpower your work. I want the whole brand and the colors and everything to show off your work. So I want it to be like a frame on a piece of art where it shows off the art, it doesn't overpower the art, right? That's how I want to think about it. Here's another one, before and after. She also changed her name. We have several clients who, we help them when they're wanting to, if you want to change your name, when you rebrand is a good time to do it. But like this designer is a totally different designer, right, than this designer. Totally different look and feel, right? So just looking at like design and perceived value. So how you perceive it. Which business would you want to hire, right? This one or this one. Same company, same photos. In fact, like photos, absolutely, like invest in beautiful photography. It is super important. You don't need to shoot every single project. You want to shoot your favorite projects that you want more of. Definitely. Here's another one. Here versus here, right? How you perceive it, right? You would assume the one on the left charges more than the one on the right. And this one too, here and here. Like when this client came to us, she had been published so many times, won so many awards, and this was her website versus this one, right? So I want the website to have that same feeling as your work. For your logo and website are really important in attracting your ideal client. And when I say attracting your ideal client, it's like when they come there, obviously you need to drive traffic to the website, but when they get there, you want your ideal client to know that they're in the right place, right? So create a website design or even your Instagram page that gives prospects the same emotional response or gut feeling that your work does. So I want them to sit there and be like, wow, this is beautiful. And it's going to show off your work. Get found online. Definitely design a website that grabs your ideal clients' interest, encourages them to take the next step, right? Get them to take that next step instead of closing the tab. Get paid more. Create a professional brand that builds trust and positions your business as an authority, right? We talked about that. And then SEO. Let's talk about SEO. Biggest mistakes, not programming your keywords correctly into your website. Not having a Google business profile. Google business profile is super important for SEO and getting Google reviews and showing up in the maps. You cannot show up in the maps unless you have that Google business profile. And that Google business profile can be optimized using your keywords, using the, like you can optimize it for the locations you are servicing. Again, it is super important. In fact, I was just noticing that like if people, when they give you, you know, a review, if they're using some of the keywords, like some of the locations you're servicing or the name of your services, like Google is seeing that. That's like coming up in search, I feel like. Not having enough Google reviews. Absolutely. I know it's hard to get Google reviews. It's super important to be working on that. And I just also want to touch base on like SEO. Think of SEO as like a long-term like marathon. It definitely helps build trust online and helps you become an authority over time, but it's more of a long-term strategy. Like if, and I'm saying this because I know a lot of people need leads right away. Like if you need leads right away and you need a steady flow of leads, then, you know, online ads, whether they're Google ads or social media ads, might be a better fit, right? And the Google ads can actually show up in the map area, which is a huge advantage, right? But again, you need to have these Google reviews up because if you're showing up in the maps and you have bad reviews or not very many reviews, and then everybody who's showing up in the maps next to you has better reviews, then chances are they're gonna still click on somebody else, right? So, here, like I brought up one of our clients, Tana. So like she has so many good reviews, right? Like somebody is going to definitely like be interested in working with her because she has so many good reviews. But really optimizing, like this is the Google business profile. The reviews are super important, making sure like we can even like do some extra programming on the photos that help the photos like show up when somebody is doing a search, making sure that the profile is optimized with your keywords that you're trying to target, and also the locations you're trying to service. So there's a lot of strategy around your Google business profile. You can actually put videos in there, and then consistently, optimizing it will make it even better. And Google is like paying attention to all this data when they're ranking your website, right? They're not just looking at your website. They're looking at your Google business profile, your reviews. I mean, they don't give us an exact list of everything they're looking at, but my understanding is they're looking at, they're collecting data from everywhere. How SEO can help attract your ideal client, right? Program your website and optimize your content using keywords that are going to attract your ideal client. So there's definitely like strategies on like selecting the keywords and also programming them into your website correctly. I don't think it makes any sense to be doing blog content if you're not doing SEO with it, right? Because it takes a lot of work and energy to create content. We want that content to get the most visibility possible. We want it to get, to help your website traffic by increasing your SEO, your keyword ranking, your SEO ranking. That content can be posted into social media to offer value. It can be sent out to your email list to add value. So programming SEO into your website. First, just going through that strategy, right? Picking the right keywords. There's so many different ways to program it, title tags, URLs, navigation to use those keywords, headlines, optimizing your content with those keywords, images. Absolutely. Like we program SEO into a website and the traffic goes up, but if you don't consistently do like keep adding content to your website using those keywords, then this monthly content is super important. And the content can be blog posts. It also can be adding keywords to using keywords with images in your headlines, in your service pages and landing pages. There's a lot of different things that can be done. Speed optimization. Yeah, so when I audit a lot of websites, I see that, maybe they didn't optimize their images well and they have huge images on their website, which is slowing down the website speed. Absolutely, like Google is taking that into account when they're deciding how high to rank your site. If it's loading really slow, they know people are just going to close the tab because they're not going to wait. So it's gonna, like, they're gonna rank your site really low. And I know that, like, this is consistently an issue when I'm auditing people's sites. There's lots of like other strategies, technical SEO, site maps, Google strategies. So SEO can also help you get found. So optimize your Google business profile, which is what we talked about, with content, photos, keywords, reviews that will attract your ideal client. Also, those doing monthly content on your website, right, can help you get found. But again, I'm a huge SEO fan, and it definitely helps, bring in higher level clients. It helps, position you as an authority. It is more of a marathon than online ads, which are more of a sprint, right? And online ads, you can up your ad spend, get more leads. You can lower it when you're not as busy. Probably one of the biggest mistakes is not doing something consistently, right? And so, you're not getting consistent leads, because what happens is you get busy with a project. And then when you're busy with a project, you're not doing any kind of marketing if you're doing it yourself. And then you get done with that project and you don't have any leads or any work coming in. And then that time that you're out of work eats up your profit. So you want to get off that roller coaster. And we talked about, again, this is just a review, that your ideal client are searching online. Everybody is using their phones, their computers, and everything to search, no matter who you are. So, just really think about implementing a monthly SEO strategy to significantly increase, increase leads, sales, projects, revenue. And again, I would add again that, ads are a fantastic strategy. I'll give you a little back end kind of history. Like, we used to offer ads, many years ago, and it took a lot of work for our ad team to have to go in every month and, optimize the ads and everything, which is see what's working, see what's not working, adjust the ads to get results, right? You can't just set up ads and then leave it and not be monitoring it. So that, that extra time made the ads very expensive for, so typically we would only offer ads to much larger companies. Now, with the use of like AI ad software that can do all the heavy lifting, you still need somebody to like set it up and manage it and oversee it. But definitely, like, that AI software can do a lot of the heavy lifting, so it brings down the investment for running ads, because the software, and gets better results, right? So we are now offering ads. They are going really well. Obviously, it depends on who you are targeting, but if your clients are on social media or they're searching on Google, then definitely they could be a good fit for you. But they are more of a sprint. And if you really need leads, I'm concerned that if you wait for SEO, it's not going to be enough, right? We definitely have clients that are doing both. That, like, if you can be doing both and like an email nurturing campaign, that is an amazing strategy, right? You're kind of building your online presence to be an authority, and you're getting immediate leads. And you're also staying in front of people, emailing them. That's an excellent strategy. Think about most of the time when people decide to buy from somebody, there's multiple studies that say that it's 6 to 7 touch points, right? Somebody has seen your company 6 to 7 times before they decide to purchase from you. So, being there multiple times in multiple different formats is a great strategy. SEO without monthly strategy, right? We always see an increase when we launch a site. We typically see an increase, but if they're not doing like monthly SEO or ads or something to drive traffic, or events or something to drive traffic, right? Then it's going to go down. But the SEO results with the monthly content, like this is one of our clients, right? That is way up here, right? And it goes up and it stays up, and it continually will be going up. But you have to be consistent about it. And website programming. So just some mistakes. Having a website that is hard to navigate and doesn't have an engaging call to action, right? That's super important to have it so it's easy to navigate. I've been a designer for a long time. I've trained as a graphic designer. Like, I love being creative. The navigation is where you don't want to be creative. Okay? Because the navigation, people look, they look in a certain place. They look up at the top for that navigation. You don't want to make it hard for them to take that next step. You're trying to encourage them to, go to one of the other pages, to scroll down. You don't want them to be like, oh, I have no idea where that is. Oh, I'm going to close the tab. It's just too easy to close the tab. Engaging call to action. I'm a huge fan of online calendars. Make it easy for them to have a conversation with you, even if it's a 15-minute qualification call, right? That you have it could be just, a certain day or time of week that you have that's open, that you're willing to take a qualification call. There's so many studies that the more roadblocks you put up, the less leads you're going to get, right? So you want to make sure it's easy for them to schedule that qualification call. Your website programming can help you attract your ideal client by programming your website to create a positive user experience that builds trust with your ideal client, right? If you have, it says your website is not secure up by where the URL is, or if you have a website page that's broken or links that are broken, right? That's not going to build trust. They're wanting to work with you because they're trusting that you pay attention to the details. They like when you aren't paying attention to, details when they first have an interaction with you, then that's going to lose trust, right? And how can help you get found? Definitely program it so it works on mobile, loads quickly. We talked about file size of images, and it's hosted on a secure platform. You don't want to get your website hacked. That'll definitely kill your online traffic. Google will not rank you well. It's super important investing, making sure that your site is secure. Get paid more. Make it easy for someone to have a conversation with you by integrating an online calendar. Like I said, I'm a huge fan. And social media. So not using blocks of time to create content in social media scheduling software to make posts. You absolutely need to have blocks of time and use social media software. It People are just too busy. It's going to be way too hard to be consistent if you're trying to, you know, create some new content every single day. Create content that communicates your value and grabs their attention while scrolling. Use well-crafted project videos, eye-catching graphics and photos. I want them to come to your social media page and I want them to scroll down and feel like, wow, this is beautiful. I'm in love with her. I want, or him or whoever, I want to work with them no matter what. Use before and after project images, post blog content, trends, and finished projects. And how it can help you get found online. Use relevant hashtags that your ideal clients are using to search within social media. Stay in front of your audience, often with consistent posts, stories, reels. Use a professional photographer. Definitely, and high quality graphics. Using a professional photographer, I can't emphasize that enough. And here, just a review. 1, brand positioning strategy. 2, copywriting. 3, logo and website design. 4, SEO. 5, programming. 6, social media, and then definitely ongoing marketing. And, you know, if you're smaller and you're just starting out, like, you know, do a website with less pages. But make sure you get the strategy right. You get the logo and the branding and the overall feel. You get the copywriting, even if it's less pages, right? You can keep your investment down by doing less, but certain things are super important. That strategy, getting the logo right, you know, having that overall look and feel, even if it's like less pages. All right, so I hope this has been really helpful. Again, I'm Debra Scarpa from Home Designer Marketing, and Taylor will put in chat. There's already a link for the free audit if you haven't taken advantage of that yet. You can also follow us on Instagram, Home Designer Marketing. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions or if you thought this was helpful. I always appreciate your feedback. All right, thank you